Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. Now for our person of interest, Brian. Brian is a California native who's fallen deeply in love with the Tamil language.
Now, Brian's journey is very interesting. It's a must hear. Not only is he an American who's passionate about Tamil, but he joins us this morning to share his incredible story of actually learning the language, which is not so simple, embracing its culture and even making a documentary about it, even marrying a Tamilian as well. So let's get in straight with him. Hi, good morning. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. We would love to sort of understand from you first and foremost what sparked your initial interest in the language. We are made to understand you were just 19 and that's when the Tamil Kida really bit you.
Sure. For me, it started way back in high school in California. There are a lot of other Tamil students in my high school. I lived in an area in California that was very diverse. People from all backgrounds were there. And so I heard Tamil for the first time in high school. And how how someone might pick up the piano as a hobby, or someone who might like to learn the guitar, I decided, hey, I'm going to learn this language. I'm going to learn Tamil. What struck me first was it was a very sweet sounding language. The great poet Mahakavi Bharadiyat said, Yam arinda morigalile, Tamar moripol, ini dabada yengum kanom. Which means out of all the languages we know, none has the sweetness of Tamil. And that was sort of how I got into it at that point. After that, studying with students at school, during recesses and during sports breaks and it was just, I couldn't quite advance to the level that I would like to, which would mean I would need to do something more radical. I decided to go to Madurai, the heart of Tamil Nadu, find a teacher, and I was able to find someone who was a retired Tamil professor and stay with him in a traditional Guru Sishya method, live with him. He took me in, I came as a stranger, but he treated me as family, showed me warm hospitality. And from the very early on, the very basic building blocks of the Tamil language, he taught me. And I studied maybe 3 summers with him in Madurai. And so that was a fabulous experience. From there, I went to, I did my master's in Tamil language and literature, and I finished that as well. So, and all of this really gave me the background that I would need to pull off this documentary that we're just finishing. Because I had exposure to the variety, the different aspects in the literatures, and the different regional dialects that I encountered when traveling in Tamil Nadu, it was perfect to help complete this film.
So, Brian, we'll ask you about the documentary in a little bit of depth, but first, can you just share with us some experiences from when you went back and actually learned Tamil from a professor 3 decades ago in Madurai?
Some fond memories are my teacher giving me some of the grammar, some of the more formal, theoretical building blocks that I would need to speak Tamil. But then, since I was there in Madurai, I'm able to now go out, do my morning lessons with him, and then I can go out in the streets and mingle with people. I would frequently go to, if I learned a new word like, say, tomato, and tomato in Tamil is takali. So if that's the word of the day, I can go to the local shops and say, takali yabalanga, and the takali yabalo yenavela. So how much is this? How much does this cost? And I would go from shop to shop to shop, even though I'm not buying too many tomatoes. I can at least repeat it and kind of learn the language patterns and interact with different people, hear different voices back and forth. And that reinforcement and that immersion was really very helpful to try to advance my Tamil.
Yeah. One can see that, your love for the language, Brian, and your dedication for it as well. You have a Tamilian wife as well. But I just want to understand why Tamil and not anything else? What is it that draws you so much towards this language?
It's purely the way it sounds. It's really that gripping. Like if you love music and you heard say jazz bebop for the first time, you heard John Coltrane for the first time, or if you like more operatic or opera type singing, you hear that for the first time and you say, that's what I want to do. So when I heard Tamil for the first time back at that American high school, it's like, that's what I want to do. There's something about that language, the way it rolls off the tongue, that just is so, the sound itself is compelling.
But even within that, there are different dialects, right? So can you just tell us a little bit, first just tell us about the documentary that you're working on, but also what it's been like to shape it.
The Beyond Words Stories from Tamil Landscapes, the documentary film, is really a celebration of Tamil arts, Tamil traditions, Tamil culture, and of course, Tamil language. Originally, language was going to be the only pillar that we sort of explored throughout the film. And so starting on that, the original idea actually came from my frequent visits to my guru in Madurai. As I came several times to visit him, I noticed the different regional dialects. They always were just so captivating, and how they sounded so starkly different. And I thought a film would be an interesting way to explore them and capture them for everyone to see all in one place. So starting to march down that path of documenting the Tamil dialects, when we interviewed people in different regions, we started noticing different art forms, whether it's song or dance, and we sort of thought, why don't we fold in more of the culture and more of the performative arts into the film? Talk to people, talk to the performers, but have them speak in their own regional dialect when they tell us about their art form. So we married the two, the language together with the art forms, and that sort of carried forward the rest of the film as we went all through the different regions, including Malaysia, Singapore, and we also covered aspects of Sri Lanka.
Nice, nice. So it's been quite a wholesome experience for you. But Brian, just on the scale of learning a language which is so different from your own mother tongue, could you give us a bit on what has been the toughest part about learning Tamil?
Toughest part has to be some of the aspects in the Tamil language that are not in English, which is my mother tongue, right? And for example, American English, you have one L. Tamil, you have three L's you have to learn. Three L's you have to learn to deal with. One is in the front of the mouth, sounds like il. Another is in the middle, where the tip of the tongue goes to the roof of the mouth, ir. And you have a third one that folds the tongue way back to the throat, ir. And that's the one that's very unique to Tamil. It's you hear it clearly in the word for fruit, which is parram. And the parram it accentuates that sound. And those are very difficult sounds to learn for a Westerner or for anyone who doesn't know Tamil at all. Tamarikku, ra, aragu. So these three words, so the beauty in Tamil is the ra letter. Is what that sentence means. That's a great sentence to practice because each word contains that letter. That was probably one of the hardest things. Another is actually the duration of vowels. This is common to all of the Indian languages where you have e. Like the duration matters. It'll change meaning if you don't hold the vowel long enough. This doesn't exist in at least in American English. And you can get very different meanings, completely separate meanings than you're intending if you don't hold the vowel long enough. For example, avan poi sonan versus avan poi tonan. Poi versus poi. One is he went there and told. The other is he is a liar. So it's very significant to hold the vowel length the correct way. And that's also very hard to pick up. Even today, even though I've been studying for well over 20 years, I struggle with hearing and identifying the length of the vowel to notice what other people are saying, to comprehend correctly. But also not only that, but to reproduce. I have to be careful to hold it myself when I speak back.
So fascinating, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's making me also aware of the beautiful nuances of all Indian languages. What would you say is the sweetest gift learning this language has given you?
Good question. Just the joy of being able to understand what's being spoken around me. Just going back to the example of a musician or someone who likes opera and hears opera. When I'm in Tamil Nadu or Malaysia or Singapore and I hear the Tamil spoken around me, it's just a joyful experience. That's how powerful the Tamil language is.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Brian, for that. Before we let you go, do you have a message for TBC viewers in Tamil and hopefully for all of us a translation as well?
நிறைய பேர் எனக்கு தமிழ் பொறுமையா சொல்லிக் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அவங்க எல்லாத்துக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி. In English, there are many people who have patiently taught me Tamil, and I would like to with a heartfelt thanks, thank them.
Sweet.
How lovely.